Hello and welcome to another episode of AWS Cloud Bytes AWS Certification Series. I'm your host Bhavesh Kumar. Friends, if you like these videos, please like, subscribe, share and click the notification bell icon for future updates. Today we are going to talk about some professional level questions. There may be a mix of easy questions, but it is primarily focused on architect and DevOps professionals. Which of the following must be done while generating a pre-signed URL in S3 to ensure that the user who is given the pre-signed URL has permission to upload the object? Now you're giving a pre-signed URL and you're saying the user should have a permission to upload. Which one of the following? There are 4 options. Take some time, pause the video. You can write your answers in the comment. There are 4 options, one of which we have to select. So let's go from option A. Ensure the user has right permission to S3. Now this is not a required step. With the pre-signed URL, the user itself doesn't need to have a right permission to S3. This option is incorrect. Ensure the user has read permission to S3. Now this is also not a required step. With a pre-signed URL, the user itself doesn't need to have a read permission to S3. So this one is also incorrect. Let's look at the third one. Ensure that the person who has created the pre-signed URL has the permission to upload the object to the appropriate S3 bucket. Now, if you look at it, because to upload an object in S3, the pre-signed URL must be created by someone who has permission to perform operations that the pre-signed URL is based upon. So this one is a correct option here. Let's look at the fourth one also. Create a CloudFront distribution. CloudFront distribution, as we all know, is hosting your S3 bucket as a website, a static website that you can host. So this is not required in this scenario. Answer will be C in this particular question. Okay, let's look at another question. A company is creating a new investment idea sharing application in the AWS. The static content has been put in S3 bucket. A database is needed to store the data for investment ideas. The application retrieves data from the database and dynamically renders a page. The web application has a requirement to serve users globally. Also, the company prefers a serverless solution. So we are looking for a serverless solution if possible. Which combination of services should be used together so that the application does not need origin infrastructure and administrative efforts, so low admin or maintenance efforts, required for automatic scaling, backups, or database redundancy? Select 3. So we have 5 options here, and we have to select 3 options out of this. The requirement is to serve global users. It should be serverless, should have automatic scaling, backup, and less database redundancy efforts or admin efforts. Let's look at the options. Configure an elastic load balancer and auto scaling group to balance the traffic dynamically. So this is possible, but because the company is preferring a serverless solution, I would just keep it as an option here, but not the preferred option. Configure an AWS CloudFront to serve end users from various edge locations. Now this looks like a better choice because CloudFront distribution can serve all the static S3 pages, and from the edge locations you can have additional logic if required. From edge locations you can serve. So this looks like a better option because CloudFront has over 100 edge locations and it's a proper CDN. End users will have lower global latency. So kind of an option here. Let's create an auto scaling configuration for EC2 instances to automatically scale up and down according to the load. The preferred approach is go serverless. If you go by EC2, it is not serverless. You have to manage. All of it will be administrative or maintenance effort. So that's why it can be done, but it's not the preferred approach right now. Run the application code in Lambda at edge to retrieve data from database, and the response is also cached and served by CloudFront. So Lambda at edge is a Lambda that can be triggered from edge locations to connect to services and fetch data as needed. So this works hand in hand with CloudFront. So this is another preferred option. Use DynamoDB to store data for post that the application is using. Now, DynamoDB is a managed database, a fully managed database, and it's a highly performant database. DynamoDB automatically scales stable to adjust the capacity. It can maintain the performance, and it is globally available using global tables. This is one of the preferred answers, I would say. Let's look at the last one. For the dynamic data, including posts for customers, configure an RDS instance. Now, RDS under the hood is an EC2. Even though you are saying it's an RDS instance, so if you remember when you start an RDS, you define what size of EC2 instance you want, what kind of instance that you are looking for to host your RDS. So it's not highly scalable because there is a limit to that particular EC2 instance. So this is not going to be an option. Even though these three options can make a solution, but it is not automatic scaling. It is not having all this additional requirement that this question requires. So my answer will be B, D, and E for this particular question. This is the end of the episode. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell icon for future updates. This is your host, Bhavesh Kumar, signing off. Thank you.